Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Marisol, for that very generous introduction. And of course, welcome to our seminar for this afternoon. I would like for us to welcome all of our participants. We have a diverse participants for this afternoon's webinar. And of course, I am Coach Paulo and I will be your coach, your speaker for the whole hour na magkakasama tayo ngayong hapon na ito. Now, before I officially start my discussion, I would first like to ask all of our participants, I believe we have a total of 49 participants from our Zoom meeting room. The big question that I would like to address first is that I've heard that if you are a real estate professional, you are good at presentation skills or you have a very impressive presentation skills. Do you agree? Do you agree, guys? Can I see a reaction button if you agree? Can I see a heart reaction button kung nag-agree kayo sa statement na yun? Real estate professionals have a very impressive skills in presentation. Isa lang ang nag-agree. Can I see everyone? Dapat naniniwala kayo na you all agree and you all know to yourself that you have a very impressive presentation skills. And in public speaking, we always have that. Okay? We always have that presentation skills. Lalo na kayo, real estate professionals. You are not just doing presentations in a live audience. You are also doing presentations in an online setup. And that's because the pandemic pushed us to do that, right? Because of the pandemic for almost 3 years na. Nandito tayo ngayon, especially this webinar, a good example, na kahit pandemic, we can still do public speaking. We can still do presentations for our audience, whether it's a live audience or it's an online audience. Now, the next thing that I would like to address is, do you engage with your clients? Do you engage with your audience? That's why gusto ko makita kung yung engagement nyo with your clients, kaya ba nating i-apply yan ngayon sa ating webinar? That's why, let me share my screen. I would like to ask everyone a big activity. Okay, I would like to ask your participation for this one. So as you can see on your screen, you just have to visit this link na sinend ko on our Zoom link. Okay? And all you have to do is to basically add any word na mag-i-incorporate sa salitang public speaking. How are you going to describe public speaking in one word? So go ahead. Visit slido.com and you may also scan the QR codes you can see on your screens. There you go. Tignan natin kung ano ba para sa inyo ang public speaking. Because of course, you are real estate professionals. And most of the time, hindi nyo napapansin, you are using public speaking and presentation skills. So ngayon, ano yung lumalabas sa isip nyo pag sinabing public speaking? So go ahead. Type in your answer. Visit the link. We have confidence. Wow. That's good. How about the others? What's your insight when we say public speaking? Wow, that's also a good word, ha? Persuasion. Sige nga, tingnan pa natin yung iba. I love this one. Okay, rapport. That's nice. Imparting, sharing. That's good. Ito maganda. Pag naisip daw niya or pag sinabi daw na public speaking, ang lumalabas sa isip niya is public speaking din. How about the others? Can I see others' insight? We have from the chat box, communication from Elnor. Thank you so much, Elnor. Geronimo, from him, it's change. That's good. Last call. Oratory. Okay. So when we say public speaking, you are doing oration. Okay. Feedback, attention, okay, knowledge sharing, and communication. I love this one. This one will be our main focus, communication. Okay? Despite the pandemic, kaya ba natin na makipag-usap pa din with our clients kahit na wala sila sa mismong harap natin? And because of the pandemic and social media, tinulungan tayo niyan eh. Tinulungan tayo ng social media to reach our clients, to reach our prospects, even our family. We were able to reach our family because of social media. But since it's 2023, ang dami nang nagbago. Ang dami nang naging updates. At isa pa dito, ang dami nang hindi nakakasabay. And that's the reason why we will be talking about effective ways to utilize social media, and hahaluan natin ngayon ng public speaking. Because when we use social media, malamang ang pumapasok sa inyo, sa isip nyo, photos, messenger, communication, pakikipag-usap lang. But you could actually use public speaking in social media. All right? So thank you so much for sharing your insights. Let us now move on to our discussion. So allow me to share again my new screen and we're going to discuss a new topic. There you go. So again, as mentioned, I am Coach Paolo and I will be starting this discussion with a very, very short story. Okay? As you can see on your screens, okay, this is my photo. This was 9 years ago. Bagong-bago pa, nagsisimula pa lang sa hosting and public speaking. And imagine this photo. Wala akong professional photo, wala akong kahit anong professional equipment para ma-document kung ano yung ginagawa ko in public speaking. Just this photo. Just this photo when I was starting public speaking. Kung isipin nyo, napakapayat, napakabata, wala pang alam when it comes with public speaking, when it comes with how the business works outside the school. But sabi ko, how am I going to reach my clients? Wala naman akong enough resources. Hindi ko kayang magbayad ng ads. Hindi ko kayang connect pa sa ibang company because baguhan pa lang. And one thing na available that time is by using your mobile phone, kayang-kaya mo nang i-access yung social media, which is Facebook. That's why I tried to visit Facebook. I signed up on Facebook. I already have my personal account, pero meron ako nakita doon that shows interest me. Yung create a page. I created my page, and then yung photo na nakita nyo kanina, yun yung inilagay ko to market myself as a public speaker, as a host. And simple lang ginawa ko. Nilagyan ko lang ng photo, gumawa ko ng pangalan ko, ng branding ko, and kung mapapansin nyo dun sa Facebook na yan, 2015, yan lang ang pinopost ko kasi wala akong photos. Wala akong kahit ano, kundi yung social media lang, yung Facebook lang, and yung picture lang na yun. Ang pinaka-pinopost ko lang that time are, hey guys, hire me as a host, book me as a host. I'm offering hosting. Tapos eventually nakita to ng mga friends ko, ng mga family ko. Tapos sila mismo, yung nag-share nung mga pinopost ko. Now, ever since na nagkaroon ako ng Facebook account, every time na nagkakaroon ako ng client, because I was able to reach my clients, my audience, through social media, nagpo-post na ako ngayon. Ever since nag-start ako ng Facebook, pinopost ko na kahit anong relation, kahit anong event, kahit anong activity na ginagawa ko in my profession, pinopost ko siya. Lalagyan ko siya ng post, ng caption, ng hashtag. That time kasi sobrang uso-uso ang hashtag. Sobrang beneficial din ang hashtag because when you click the hashtag, lalabas doon lahat ng related sa hashtag na ginamit ko. Now, fast forward to 2023, I am still posting photos, videos, any post related sa aking hosting event, sa aking public speaking event. And now, I can personally say that social media really helped me to become more confident about myself because basically when you're showing yourself on social media, lahat ng tao nakatingin sa'yo, lahat ng tao nakikita ka because you made yourself public in front of your audience. But the positive thing about it is that when you post yourself on social media and you make yourself public on social media, you also raise your competitive advantage. You also raise your edge when it comes with, of course, presence. Your social media presence will help you now para makakuha ng prospect clients. Kapag meron akong kliyente na nag-book sa akin, it's because nakita nila yung previous events ko. It's because nakita nila yung previous na reviews ko. Now, one thing lang na hindi ko masyadong nagawa when I was starting, and kahit ngayon, hindi ko siya nagawa, which is, I can say that part siya ng aking mistake dahil akala ko photo lang ang dapat na pinapost on Facebook, which is wrong. In public speaking, in presentation, and in event hosting, ang laking bagay ng videos. Ang laking bagay ng content creation in the video form. That's the reason why I chose this topic, because I want you all to realize how important videos is. Hindi lang sapat ngayon yung portfolio, because the portfolio, the photos can be actually seen ng mga tao. Kaya-kaya na lang makita yan, yung mga printed yung materials, kaya-kaya na lang makita yan. Ang hinahanap nila ngayon, yung video. Paano ka mag-host, paano ka mag-present, ano ang ino-offer mo, lahat yan makikita in just a simple video content. Now, let's talk about social media in general. So for today, we're gonna talk about understanding public speaking in social media, platforms and contents in social media, effective tools for content creation. And later, if you have any questions, if you have any clarifications, or you would like to share your insights based from our webinar topic, please drop your questions later on our question and answer session, and I will be happy to answer all of your questions. Now, let's start with a review, an update in social media. Okay. So this one is the latest digital statistic report from We Are Social. Almost every month, okay, every quarter, meron silang binibigay na updates in social media. And ang gusto kong tignan nyo dito sa data na ito ay yung numbers of social media user. Gaano na ba kadami in 2023 ang gumagamit ng social media? And as you can see here, it's already 4.80 billion. Imagine, almost half of the population in the world gumagamit ng social media. Before, nasa 2 million lang yun eh. It's probably because hindi pa kasi kaya i-reach ng internet yung mga malalayang lugar. But because of technology, simpleng cellphone, kayang-kaya mo nang ma-reach ang social media. That's the reason why ang daming gumagamit ngayon ng social media, because it's already accessible anywhere, anytime. As part of another data, okay, according to National Association of Realtors, when it comes with generations, yung baby boomers and millennials ang may pinakamadaming percentage na gumagamit ng social media to reach or to find to reach realtors or real estate professionals. Probably because, of course, baby boomers sila yung madalas mag-cellphone dahil wala naman sila masyadong nagagawa pa, or wala na sila masyadong ginagawa. Similar to millennials, mas accessible sa millennials ngayon because pag wala silang ginagawa sa trabaho, pagod sila, browse on social media. Check on videos. Check on Facebook, on Instagram. Another study is that 47% of real estate business note that social media results in the highest quality leads versus other sources. Ang laki rin ng percentage, no? 47%. When it comes to man with realtors, you, our real estate professionals, you are already part of the 77% of realtors na gumagamit ng social media to post their listings, their products, their services on social media to reach their potential clients, to reach your prospects. This is how powerful social media is right now. This 2023, kahit sino tanongin mo gumagamit ng social media. Kahit sino tanongin mo gumagamit ng Facebook, ng Instagram. And dapat nakakasabay tayo. Kasi kapag hindi tayo nakakasabay because of this fast-facing technology, this fast-facing world, may ipapag-iiwanan tayo. And when you are a real estate professional and you post anything on social media, we could already consider you as a content creator. As a content creator, You have to consistently post high quality photos and videos to make you look more professional. Marami kasi ngayon in other industry na basta makapag-post lang. Okay? Kung na ginawa ko nga nung nag-start ako, di ba? Makapag-post lang ako ng text, ng caption, okay na sa akin yun. Which, of course, nung nagsisimula ako, okay lang. Pero dapat, habang tumatagal ka in social media, habang dumadami yung nagtitiwala at nakakanood sa'yo on social media, dapat nagiging mas professional ka tignan. Because binibase nila dito yung credibility mo as a content creator, as a professional, as a real estate broker. And if you have high quality photos and videos, such as your listings, you could have higher engagement rates with your prospect clients. Mas mataas din yung online presence mo. The importance of using impactful visual contents, it's of course very important when you post something on social media. But take note, I use the word impactful visual contents. Yung impactful visual contents will come from you yourself as the speaker, you yourself as the presenter. Hindi ka lang, sabi ko nga, hindi ka lang dapat nagpo-post ng photos, ng captions. Dapat ikaw mismo nakikita ng audience. Ikaw mismo nakikita ng prospect. Because if hindi mo ipapakita yung sarili mo, hindi ka nila makikilala. Hindi ka nila makikilala as a real estate professional. And yun ngayon ang binibuild up natin for you to be seen by your prospects and your target audience. This is where public speaking in social media takes place. Now, let's understand first what is public speaking para magkaroon kayo ng general foundation or knowledge when it comes to public speaking. According to a survey, okay, there's a survey with 100,000 or 1,000 people rather, and chinek nila kung ano yung magiging response nila when it comes with public speaking. Almost 60 to 50% of the participants said that communication skills and leadership was raised to a higher level just because of public speaking. So another data from the same study, sabi nila 45% from those participants gave them a sense of empowerment and takes risk easily. Mas marami nagtitake risk ngayon because of public speaking. Because again, you are able to show yourself. And kapag confident kang ipakita yung sarili mo sa ibang tao, you are more likely gonna take risk. Another respondents, another study there, is that mas mataas ngayon yung level of career opportunities because of public speaking. Because if you're the kind of professional, employee, na magaling sa technical pero hindi magaling sa communication such as public speaking, mas mababa yung level of career opportunities mo because of the so-called communication. Hindi ka nagkakaroon ng mas malawak na path because nalilimit yung sarili mo sa kung ano lang yung alam mo ngayon. And in our world, kahit saang industry, if you know how to communicate, if you know how to present, if you know how to use public speaking correctly, mas mataas yung career opportunities mo. And last one, 79% will recommend public speaking to others. And that's a very good study. Benefits in the workplace in public speaking. Now, let's talk about what is public speaking in definition. Kung isa-search yung definition ng public speaking, simple lang sinasabi dyan katulad ni Merriam-Webster. Sabi, speaking to a large group of people and usually in public. But because of the pandemic, nag-shift yung meaning ng public speaking ngayon. We're no longer just talking in front of a live audience. We can now talk in front of our audience sa harapan mismo ng computer, ng gadgets, ng ating laptop. We could reach our potential audience, especially our prospects and clients, through online. Webinars, yung seminars natin nagiging webinars. Yung meetings natin sa boardroom nagiging Zoom meeting, Google meeting. So, ang dami ng ways ngayon to reach our audience, pero na-apply pa din natin yung public speaking and presentation. Nung nagsisimula ako ng public speaking, I mean, nung nag-shift ako ng public speaking in online setup, isa rin ako sa mga professionals na nahirapan. Because ang hirap makipag-engage with your audience if they are not in front of you, if you cannot see their faces. But eventually, I've learned that in public speaking, when you're doing public speaking online, ang dali lang pala. Mas madali pala siya. Kasi ngayon, hindi na lang mukha ang titignan mo. Camera na mismo yung titignan mo in public speaking. So ngayon, dahil nasasanay akong makita yung sarili ko, nare-record yung ginawa ko during the public speaking, mas nakikita ko ngayon kung ano yung mga kailangan kong i-improve when it comes with my public speaking abilities. Ngayon, mas confident na ako, mas excited na ako mag-record ng sarili ko, mag-video ng sarili ko because of this setup. And ngayon, kayo, maganda yun for all of you. Kailangan nyo ngayon sanayin yung sarili nyo in front of a camera because when you see yourself in front of your camera and it's the first time na nakita nyo yung sarili nyo in front of a camera, sobrang cringe, di ba? Parang feeling nyo, ay, ganun pala ang itsura ko kapag nagpa-public speaking. Ganun pala ang itsura ko kapag nagsasalita. But eventually, kapag nakasanayan nyo na, masasanay kayong makita yung sarili ninyo. And kapag nakikita nyo yung sarili nyo, yung recorded video of yourself doing presentations and public speaking, you're basically putting yourself in the perspective of your audience. Nakikita nyo kung anong itsura nyo at ano yung nakikita ng audience sa inyo kapag nagpe-present kayo. And we're gonna apply that in social media. Mas mataas ang level of engagement nyo ngayon with your audience kapag nakikita ng audience yung sarili nyo through a video. Kaya dapat, sinasanay nyo yung sarili nyo ngayong mag-record ng sarili nyo. And then eventually, mas magiging comfortable na kayo to post yourself, to post a video of yourself doing presentations. Now, there are golden principles in public speaking. Sa golden principles muna tayo ng public speaking in general. I created this golden principles and I call this 3A's. 3A stands for authority, audience, and authenticity. Now, this principle can be applied in any type of presentation engagement. If you're doing any speaking engagement, you have to apply these principles. The first one is, you need to ask yourself, are you interesting enough in front of your audience? We're not focusing on the content itself or the message. We're focusing on you as a speaker. When you say authority, do you have the control? Are you in control when you're doing your presentation? Kasi maraming speakers ang kinakabahan. That's why nawawala yung kanilang control when they're doing public speaking, when they're doing presentation. At kapag nakita yon ng audience natin, yung hindi ka nag-i-establish ng authority or presence mo just because you don't have control, your audience lose interest listening to your presentation. Second one is that, are you engaging? Do you do engagement with your audience? Or simply say, na kapag nagpe-present ka ba, ang iniisip mo are your audience? Kasi kapag hindi mo iniisip ang audience mo, and you're just doing presentation, you're just talking and talking, without considering your audience, then therefore, there's a tendency na bumaba ang engagement level ng audience mo at hindi na sila makinig sa'yo. So from time to time, as much as possible, dapat check mo yung audience mo. Check mo kung nandyan pa ba sila, kung may tanong sila, etc. Last one is, of course, are you believable? Okay? You should ask yourself, totoo ba yung mga sinasabi mo? Authentic ba yung pinapakita mo sa audience mo? Or ikaw yung type of speaker na kapag nagpa-presentation, nagkakaroon ka ng other personality, yung personality na feeling mo at inakala mo na gusto ng audience. Kaya yun yung ibinibigay mo, yun yung pinapakita mo in front of your audience. Make sure that when you do this one, you don't go too far from yourself because nakikita ng audience kapag ikaw ay nagpapanggap in front of them. Kapag hindi na totoo yung mga sinasabi mo, kapag hindi na ikaw yung presenter. So you have to choose kung mas okay ba na ipakita ko yung sarili ko in front of my audience, or I create a version of myself na mas accepted ng audience. Which of course, baka sa tingin mo lang yun. Baka akala mo lang accepted yun ng audience mo, pero hindi pala. Remember this one, guys. In public speaking and in presentation, the more you are authentic, the more you are you in front of your audience, the more people, the more trust ang matatanggap mo from the people you are presenting with. Mas makikinig sila sa inyo. Mas paniniwalaan nila kayo at mas susundan nila kayo. Now, last thing for principles is this one. The 3 golden principles in presentation itself. Okay? Kung meron kayong mga upcoming presentations, lalo na kapag meron kayong engagement or social media content creation, dapat lagi nyo pinaghahandaan. Hindi pwede yung, ay, post lang ako, record ako, tapos po-post ko lang. Kung ano lang yung maisipan ko, i-record ko na kagad, tapos po-post ko na. Dapat at least ginagamit nyo yung presentation principle. Because technically, you're doing presentation. Hindi na nga lang siya internal lang. You're doing it in public. You're doing this online. You're doing this through the use of social media. So technically, ginagamit nyo pa rin yung presentation principle. So the first one is to prepare. Okay? You visualize everything. You at least strategize what are the contents that you're gonna make on your social media content creation. Ano yung mga sa tingin nyo na babagay for your brand? So you visualize everything. And when you visualize everything, dapat yung preparation, ang foundation nyo is research. Dapat chine-check nyo lahat ng possible na contents na pwede nyong i-post pero hindi nyo dapat gagawin kagad. Dapat i-check nyo muna kung appropriate ba tong content na to for my brand, for my company, for my organization, or for myself. You visualize everything, and when you visualize everything, you're not just visualizing the positive things. You also visualize the negative things, the things that might happen and might not happen. So you look forward. Second one is practice. If you already have this content idea, you practice first. Because when you practice, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear the rehearsal, yung content na gagawin nyo, papakinggan nyo siya. So technically, kapag na-record nyo yung sarili nyo, naririnig nyo at nakikita nyo kung ano yung pinractice ninyo. At kayo mismo, first hand, marirealize nyo kung okay ba to or hindi. Kasi kapag sinalang mo kagad yung sarili mo on an actual presentation without practicing, there's a tendency na first time mo siyang pakinggan, hindi pala magandang pakinggan in front of your audience, tapos wala na, napakawalan mo na siya, nasabi mo na siya, nagawa mo na siya. So you try to practice first, you try to do rehearsals, and kapag maganda yung content, kapag maganda siyang pakinggan, do it, present it. Isa sa pinakamagandang ginagawa ng public speaker to get good at public speaking is through practice. Dapat kapag nagpa-practice ka, you rehearse with a video, a raw video of yourself doing the presentation. Hindi yung kapag nagkamali ka, pause na kagad. So, anong nangyayari? Nagiging perfectionist ka. Hindi mo na-observe ngayon yung sarili mo kung ano ba yung ginagawa mo kapag nagpa-presentation ka, kapag nagre-rehearse ka. So, best advice that I could give to everyone when you're doing practice, especially when you're doing public speaking or presentation and you are applying the rehearsal principle, dapat record yourself in yung raw self, yung ikaw mismo habang nagpe-present, yung ikaw mismo habang nagre-rehearse. Tapos, after mong mag-rehearse, pause the video, stop the video, wag mo siyang panoodin kagad, panoodin mo kinabukasan. In that way, mas may presence ka, mas nakikita mo kung ano yung mga pwede mong i-apply pa din, i-continue, or baguhin. Last one for this principle is present. Of course, you just have to present. But dinagdagan ko tong 3 P's natin. Instead of just presenting, you should also know how to apply passion. Okay? So every time na magpe-present ka, you have to be passionate about it. Parang kayo on your profession. You need to make sure that you are passionate with your presentation. Now, let's talk about effective communication in public speaking. We have this so-called division when it comes to public speaking. Yung auditory form at saka yung visual form. Let's focus first on the verbal form. Okay? The verbal cues. Ito yung ginagawa mo through communication. Ito yung sinasabi mo. At ito yung naririnig ng audience from you as a speaker. Before we apply this on social media, dapat alam nyo muna kung paano nga ba talaga mag-present verbally, auditory form. So the first one is tonality. Okay?
Sir Brian, nakamute po kayo, sir.
And can you still hear me, guys?
Okay, you're good, sir.
Ayan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Going back tonality, right? Tonality is all about your voice when you're doing presentation, when you're speaking. You have to use your tonality when you're speaking so that hindi ka magiging boring pakinggan. And when I say tonality, ito yung parang roller coaster na boses mo kapag nagsasalita ka. When you sound monotonous, diyan na pumapasok yung hindi ka na interesting as a speaker. So you have to observe your tonality. And how are you going to apply tonality on your presentations? So we have this one, yung instrument, your voice as an instrument. Your voice as an instrument can of course focus on two techniques. The punching plus elongating. Punching is more of lalagyan mo ng diin ng suntok, in other words. In Filipino nga suntok, punching, di ba? Emphasis, yung gusto mong iparating sa audience mo. And you usually do emphasis kapag yung information na gusto mong tumatak sa audience, yun yung nilalagyan mo ng bagong dating. Yun yung mas nilalagyan mo ng impact. That's like what I'm doing. Impact. May mga words akong sinasabi na nilalagyan ko ng suntok. Now, when you do that, okay, your audience will remember more from your speech. Mas naririnig nila at mas naintindihan nila kung ano yung sinabi mo. Because meron kang suntok. Another form is the elongation. Habang sinusuntok mo yung sinasabi mo, habang sinabi mo siya ng madiin, pinapahaba mo din. You either enunciate it, basically you pronounce it syllable by syllable, or of course, you pronounce it slower than the others. Just like here on this example, di ba? Meron tayo dito na naka-highlight na blue. So ngayon, kapag in-enunciate ko siya, kapag in-elongate ko siya, dapat babasahin ko siya ng mas mabagal, mas mahaba. Enunciating a word or phrase slower than other words or phrase to add dramatic effect. So kung maririnig nyo auditory form, meron siyang suntok, meron siyang elongation. So ngayon, merong impact yung words na sinabi ko just because I apply the punching and the elongation. Another thing is the volume of your voice. When you're doing any presentation, especially in social media, when you're gonna post your video, dapat you know how to adjust the volume of your voice. That's why I created this one, the scale. So dapat meron kayong imaginary volume scale of yourself doing presentation. If you're gonna go as low as 1, 2, 3, that will appear as your shy volume voice. And you never use this shy volume voice kapag meron kang presentations. Because when you have this shy volume voice, you're gonna sound unconfident with your presentation. So para kang bumubulong dyan. Di ba pag bumibili tayo for example sa isang coffee shop, tapos hindi natin alam kung paano i-pronounce yung nasa menu. Sabi natin, can I order a macchiato? Macchiato? Ayan. So hinihinaan natin yung boses natin just because we are not confident with what we're saying. So if you're gonna apply that on your presentation, nakikita ng audience ngayon at naririnig ng audience na hindi ka sure sa mga sinasabi mo. So as much as possible, you leave that volume voice. Gagamitin mo lang siya kapag hindi mo talaga alam yung sagot. Hindi or kinakabahan ka or shy ka, gagamitin mo lang yan. Pero hindi mo siya dapat gamitin on a presentation. Now we have this level, the 4, 5, 6. Kapag yung boses mo nasa 4, 5, 6, that's basically your normal volume voice. Yan yung ginagamit mo kapag may kausap ka with a friend, with your family, kapag naghahabing ka ng normal conversation. Okay? And you are not using your normal volume voice. kapag may presentation ka. Kasi kapag ginagamit mo yung normal volume voice mo, may tendency na hindi ka engaging, hindi ka interesting, hindi mafe-feel ng audience mo na nagpe-presentation kayo. Now, if we're gonna talk about presentation volume voice, that's what I'm doing right now. I use my presentation volume voice just because this is a presentation. Imagine this. If you're doing a presentation volume voice in a normal conversation, napaka-weird mo pakinggan. Sa mga friends mo, oh, ano nangyari sa'yo, Coach Paolo? Ba't ganyan yung boses mo? Hello guys! Kamusta kayo? Ngayong araw na ito, magpe-present tayo. Okay? So you're not using this on your normal presentation volume or your presentation voice. Kapag nasa bahay ka, hindi mo rin pwedeng gamitin yung presentation volume voice mo. Now, the idea here is that we have to create a level of volume of voice, such as the normal volume voice and presentation volume voice, para every time na meron kang presentation, meron kang switch sa brain mo na, okay, I will be doing a presentation, so I'm gonna shift my volume of voice to my presentation volume. So ngayon, yung sarili mo, alam na nagpa-presentation ka kasi, kaya ganito ang boses mo. Tapos kapag tapos na yung presentation mo, you go back to your normal volume voice. Now, if you're gonna ask me what's the level 10, ba't hindi pwedeng level 10? If you're gonna use level 10 all the time, kapag nagpe-presentation ka, para kang laging sumisigaw. Kaya gagamitin mo lang yung level 10 for punching and elongation when you would like to emphasize a specific word or a specific phrase. And if you're gonna apply this on your video formats, in your video content creation, maririnig nyo dapat na yung boses nyo laging nasa 7, 8, 9. Presentation volume voice siya. Now, merong nagtanong sa aking student before, paano po pag may microphone naman? So kung may microphone naman, the microphone, remember this one, the microphone's job is to only amplify your voice. Okay? Nilalakasan niya lang kung ano yung ginagawa mong volume of voice. It's not an excuse para hindi mo gamitin tong volume voice. Kasi ang mangyayari dyan, may microphone ka, tapos ang idea mo, okay, so may microphone naman ako, so hinaan ko yung boses ko. So ngayon, yung level of volume of voice mo, pumupunta yan dito lang sa normal volume voice. Yung iba nga, dumidiretso pa sa shy volume voice. Just because akala nila, kapag may microphone, malakas naman na yung boses nila. So remember this one, okay? The shy volume voice, the normal volume voice, hindi nyo siya pwedeng gamitin in a presentation. And your presentation volume voice should range from 7, 8, 9. Now, final part for this one, sa volume, is that you always adjust the volume of your voice in terms of the audience. Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung volume of voice mo sa classroom, tapos ang volume of voice mo is pang 300 na tao. Vice versa din. Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung classroom volume voice mo sa 300 na katao kasi para kang bumubulong nun. Okay? So basically, you're gonna have to adjust for your audience. Now, let's move on with, of course, this one. Presentation volume voice, when you show that you are using your presentation volume voice, you're gonna sound more confident, authoritative. Mas mataas yung level of confidence mo. Mas mataas din yung level of engagement ng audience. Because hindi na nila kailangan magtanong ng, ano yun? Kasi narinig ka na nila. For example, sa video content creation, kapag tama lang yung boses ng volume mo, mas engaging kang pakinggan. Mas hindi ka isi-scroll up. Kapag mahina, kailangan pa nilang lakasan yan eh. So, scroll up na lang nila. Alright? Now, the next one is the visual cues. Okay? Visual cues are everything that your audience see from you visually, nakikita nila when you're doing presentations, when you're doing public speaking. So, unang-unang nakikita nila for your visual cues is your body language. Body language is basically the non-verbal signals that you show. And kapag hindi ka sure sa mga sinasabi mo, nakikita ng audience yan based on your body language. Yung kaba mo, kapag may presentations ka, nagmamanifest siya sa katawan mo. Yung iba, aligaga, yung iba, nanginginig. Okay? So, lumalabas siya, nagmamanifest siya on your body. So, you're gonna have to pay attention on your posture, your facial expressions, and you have to use hand gestures. When you know how to show that you are a confident and positive speaker, your audience will follow you more. Mas maganda ka, mas pleasing ka sa paningin nila. Mas interesting ka panoodin. Because it shows impact and conviction. So we have these gestures. Okay? When it comes with gesturing, dapat ito yung at least na nagagawa mo kapag may presentation ka. Ito yung basic foundation of hand gesturing. So the first one is, I call this one the opener. Okay? If ikaw yung kind of speaker na hindi mahilig mag-gesturing, assess mo yung sarili mo. Because according to Vin Yang, okay, favorite quote ko to a monotone voice comes from a monotone body. So if you're asking yourself, bakit kaya laging monotonous yung boses ko? Check mo muna, baka hindi ka kasi nag-gesture. Your body language also gives impact on your voice. Kapag ginagamitan mo ng hand gesture, mas napaparating mo ngayon yung gusto mong sabihin. Because basically, hand gesturing is an illustration of what you're saying. Kahit na video yan, dapat nag-hand gesture ka. Kahit na, for example, this setup, I'm doing presentation online, pero I know you can still see that I'm still doing hand gestures. This is because I would like to illustrate something. And ito yung kailangan yung paglaruan kung hindi kayo sanay mag-gesturing. The first one is the opener. The opener is simply lang, you just have to show to your audience your palm. And kapag nag-gesturing ka, it has to be always open palm. Okay? Kapag close kasi, para kang may tinatago. Parang masyado kang may tinatago. Parang hindi ka sure kung dapat mo bang sabihin ito. Or minsan naman, masyadong mataas yung level of feelings. Masyadong mataas yung level of emotion. Since you are a sender of a message or a content, it's important na dapat open palm ka. So the first one is the opener. Sanayin mo yung sarili mo with the opener. Okay? When you're talking about something, open mo siya. Gawin mo yung gesture na yan. The second one is the giver. When you're sharing something na kailangan nilang matanggap, you give. You show a gesture that you're giving. Okay? Meron kang gusto iparating, you do like the giver. And the last one is the illustrator. Okay? Yung illustrator naman, very simple lang. For example, you're discussing something from the past, from the present, and from the future. Meron akong maliit, meron akong malaki. Ayan. So, for example, sabihin natin, okay, I have a big suggestion. Kapag sinamahan mo siya ngayon ng gesture, I have a big suggestion. Mas na-illustrate mo kung ano yung sinasabi mo. So, ganun din kapag nagpa-public speaking or presentation ka. Kung hindi ka sanay sa gesturing, paglaruan mo tong tatlo, sanayin mo yung sarili mong gamitin tong tatlo, different variation. Tapos, ang tinuturo ko lagi sa mga student ko na hindi mahilig mag-gesture, every time na magsasalita ka, gamitin mo yung gesture para makasanayan mo. Because at first, it will be unfamiliar for you. But eventually, it will now be natural for you. At kapag naging natural na siya for you, hindi mo na kailangang isipin. Kusa mo na siyang gagawin. Alright? Now, when you are doing gestures, okay, remember this zone. Ang gesturing natin, laging nandito lang sa may middle part. Kapag nag-gesture ka above, okay, like for example, yung mga kunyari merong mga election, okay, merong election, merong sinasabi yung speaker, yung candidate. So usually nandito yan sa taas. Usually may gusto silang iparating. So laging nandito sa taas. So as a speaker, kung lagi mong gagamitin to, laging pataas ang ginagawa mo, you're gonna look overconfident. You don't go below then. Kasi pag laging ang gesture mo ay nasa baba lang, hindi nakikita ng audience, you're just doing gesture for the sake of gesture, therefore, you look like you are unconfident. So you either do the gesture below or you do gesture na nakababa lang. So again, yun yung zone na unconfident ka. So the right gesture or the right space for your gesturing is this center, this space. Make the use out of this space na nasa harapan mo, nasa gilid mo. Yung space na yan yung establishment of presence mo. Kapag ginagamit mo yung space na yan, okay, that's your safe zone. At nakikita yan kahit na nagvi-video ka. Kahit na meron kang content creation, video form, nag-gesture ka, So dapat nakikita ng audience mo yung safe zone gesturing mo. Last part sa visual is of course yung ikaw mismo as a speaker. Okay? As much as possible, since you're doing public speaking, you have to at least show yourself and do the audio and visual presentation. Yung ikaw at yung naririnig from you. May mga speakers kasi na ang ginagawa kapag video content creation, voice over lang. Mas maganda ngayon, since you are establishing your social media presence, makita ka nila. Your face and your voice. Marinig at makita ka nila when you're doing content creation. That's why, sabi nga dito, how are we gonna apply public speaking when using social media? Video content creation. Now, let's jump in with content creation. But before that, I'm gonna pause for this part. Do you have any questions so far? Baka meron tayong question on our chat box. Go ahead. Baka meron kayo before we move on. Wala naman, wala naman. Alright. So let's move on. So we're gonna talk about social media now. And according to the statement, okay, social media is the new open house. Okay, I think everyone will agree with me. Diba? Social media is the new open house. Okay? Virtually, kayang-kaya mo na mag-house tour. Yung, of course, iba pa din yung nakikita mismo ng client, yung mismong unit or yung mismong bine-present or binebenta mo. Pero, kasi kailangan magkaroon kasi sila ng initial view. Hindi na ngayon effective yung posting lang ng photo, ng listing ng photo. If it's a professional photo, okay, mataas pa din yung edge mo. Pero ngayon, mas maganda kung virtually nakikita nila yan. So ngayon, social media is the new open house. So checkpoint muna tayo. Chat, please give your answers on our chat box. Okay? For you, which is the most commonly used social media platform to reach your client? Kahit sa personal view or personal experience nyo. Para sa inyo, ano yung usual na ginagamit yung social media? Okay? Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Driven, Liza, Patricia. Most of you are using Let's How about the others? Baka meron kayo ginagamit na ibang social media platform. A. Oh, we have new answer. We have TikTok and Instagram. That's nice. We also have YouTube. That's nice. That's nice. All right. Most of you are using Facebook, but you could actually post your video, your content, your listing in other social media platforms. And Facebook, of course, is a general platform na ginagamit ng kahit sino. Mapabata, mapatanda. But when you are targeting a specific audience, you could actually use a different social media platform. Now, when we talk about different social media platform, we're going to discuss the social media giants. For the sake of this webinar, we're going to focus on 5. So the 5 are the Facebook, okay, yung most commonly used right now. Facebook. We also have Instagram, TikTok, very young social media. YouTube and LinkedIn. Facebook and YouTube, matagal na sa industry, matagal na sa social media, matagal na digital platform. Now, when we talk about these platforms, okay, I want you all to focus on this table. Okay. Basically, when you talk about Facebook, okay, description dyan, daily discovery app. And yan yung lagi ginagamit nga. Kapag pagod ka, kapag galing ka sa trabaho, it's either you're using Facebook or other social media platform. That's why it's part of the social media giants. Another one is the Instagram, okay? Platform for influencers and brand. If you are representing a specific brand, for sure mataas ang presence ng company or ng organization nyo when you're using social media, when you're using Instagram. TikTok naman is more of mga DIY, mga which is ngayon, nagagamit na siya ngayon ng karamihan, lalo na sa real estate industry, ang dami nang gumagamit ng TikTok. Sila Facebook at saka sila Instagram, gumaya lang sa mga short form content. We also have YouTube, longer format. Okay? Kaso limited kasi sa YouTube eh. Similar to LinkedIn, si YouTube, ang madalas mo lang mapopost are video content. Katulad ninyo, madalas kayong gumagamit ng photos din. So mas nagagamit nyo si Facebook kasi si Facebook all around, 'di ba? Lahat ng media format pwede mong ilagay doon. Halos lahat. LinkedIn naman, professional, more of a professional credibility builder. It's more of you're gonna post something na related lang talaga with real estate. Hindi ka madalas nagpo-post ng something out of ordinary. Most of the time ang pinopost mo dito is professional news, updates about your industry, about your profession. Okay? But LinkedIn is still the best way to show your credibility. And kaya siya part ng social media giant right now is because hindi siya pwedeng mawala. Kasi dito binibase ng client, ng audience natin, if credible ka, kung totoo ka, kung sabi nga natin, hindi ka scammer, ayan. So dito nabibase yan sa LinkedIn. Kasi kapag may nakita silang LinkedIn profile mo, mas napapanatag sila. Now, let's talk about each social media platform. Okay? Remember that all social media platforms runs with algorithm. And algorithm loves consistency. The more you post, okay, the more chance na mag-pop up randomly yung video content mo, yung posting content mo, randomly to other audience. Yung mga audience na hindi ka pa pina-follow, hindi ka pa nila-like, okay? So, kapag meron kang isang video, meron kang isang post na nag-trending, kapag nakita ng algorithm na marami ka ng pinost, marami kang post kahit na mga hindi naman siya nalalike lagi, kahit hindi siya nagkakaroon ng engagement, mas mataas ngayon yung chance mo na ma-feature sa newsfeed. Kahit anong social media pa yan. Usually TikTok ganun. Mas mataas, mas marami kang pinopost, mas mataas yung chance na mag-feature ka doon sa suggested for you, sa for you, ayan. So, why do we need social media? Okay? Why do we need social media platforms to post our contents? Basically, it's cost effective. Okay? Yun laman din yung hinahanap natin. Kahit ako nung nagsisimula less cost, okay? Hindi ako marunong mag-Facebook ads or kahit anong social media ads, pero nakire-reach ko pa rin yung clients ko. Mas mataas syempre yung edge mo kung marunong ka mag-ads. Okay? If you're gonna run your any post na meron ka through ads. Pero mataas yung mas affordable ika nga. Hindi mo kailangan gumastos ng pagkalaki-laki just to reach your client. Mas mataas din yung ability to reach your audience. Randomly, pwede mong i-reach yung mga target audience mo. Personalization, kahit ano pwede mong i-post, basta akma sa brand mo. Accessible, anyone, like availability, anyone can see your posts. You can also use your phone, your gadget, anywhere, any part of the world. Basta may internet, kayang-kaya mong mag-post, kayang-kaya mong mag-create ng content. And it's a multimedia. Okay? It can accommodate images, photos, videos, captions, kahit yung mga GIF, okay? Yung mga moving photos, pwedeng i-post. Noon kasi, kung di ako nagkakamali, bago sumikat si Facebook, naabutan siguro nito, Friendster, 'di ba? Friendster personalization, more of talagang pang sayo. Okay? Parang kapag yung identity mo, Friendster, okay, yung Friendster identity mo 'yon. Kung ano yung mood mo, nandun din yung kanta. Facebook walang ganun. Facebook is more of talagang pang general, 'di ba? Now, another pro tip is always remember that when you create your account, okay, if you're not yet creating your business account, wag niyo ihalo yung business account or professional account niyo with your personal account. Okay? Because kapag nag-browse yung client, kapag nag-browse yung audience, mas may nakita silang personal na post mo on your business account, for example. Okay? Parang out of nowhere. Okay. Parang hindi siya nagiging professional tignan. Mas maganda kung nakikita lang talaga nila is kung ano lang yung pinopost mo about your brand, about your product, about your profession. Separate dapat yung personal account mo. Wag, madalas nakikita ko before, yung personal account nila, random na meron. Okay? May birthday, tapos biglang may post ng kanilang binibenta, tapos merong another post na shinare, no, na meme, na hindi naman related dun sa profession na pinopost niya. Okay, so as much as possible, to make you look more professional, you separate your personal and professional account. Now, let's talk about Facebook. Okay? Ang focus lang naman natin with Facebook is, of course, Facebook is the most used platform. Sabi nyo nga doon sa chat box kanina, madalas Facebook ang ginagamit ninyo. 2.94 billion users worldwide last year. Now, Facebook kasi, you could post anytime. Multimedia siya. You could post any photo, any updates. Yan. Pwede ka mag-post ng inyong activities, live event. Okay? But ang focus natin for this platform is, of course, the video contents. What are the video contents that you could use or you could post on your social media, on your Facebook? Of course, you could post any Facebook video. You could post any Facebook Reels, any Facebook Stories, or you could have your Facebook Live. Now, ang kagandahan kasi sa Facebook Live, kapag nag-live ka, like for example, this webinar, recorded siya. So, hindi ka na kailangang i-hit record pa kasi automatic na siyang mapopost on your Facebook account. Si Facebook videos, matagal na nag-exist. Si Reels sa kasi Stories, yun yung bago, yung inadapt ng social media ng Facebook with other platform. Okay. Facebook, for the sake of this webinar, we're gonna call Facebook Facebook. Pero alam natin na meta na ang tawag sa Facebook, right? Okay. So when you talk about Facebook videos, before, kapag nag-post ka ng Facebook videos, naka-landscape type siya. Yung pa-rectangle. Ngayon, dahil nga madalas mag-browse yung audience natin, yung clients natin, mas maganda ngayon na kapag yung video mo, meron caption doon sa mismong video. So ngayon, nagiging square format na siya. Bakit? Kasi kapag nag-scroll sila, gusto nilang makita yung buo. Kahit hindi nila ipindutin, nakikita nila, napapanood nila kasi automatic na nagpe-play yun. So kung merong, kung landscape or pa rectangle yung video mo, i-click pa nila para lang mag full screen. Pero kapag naka-square na siya, hindi mo na kailangan i-click kung saan na siya magpe-play, tapos nakikita mo na kung ano yung meron doon sa video. Dahil nga, ang attention span ng audience natin ay sobrang ikli na lang ngayon. So the more na alam na nila kung ano yung meron dun sa video, anong maaabangan nila dun sa video, the more nilang pinapanood. So usually when you create a video or when you post a Facebook video on your social media account, you add a caption, okay? Either a caption or a title, just like this one, okay? Examples from It's Showtime and The Warp Zone, okay? Either dalawa yung caption or isa lang, sa taas lang. So, eto, dissect natin siya. We have the video title from the above. We also have the video content itself, the video. Tapos hook or any caption. Tapos dahil nga hindi na kailangang tignan pa yung mismong page mo, maganda na napopromote mo na din kagad yung brand mo. Kung saan ka nila mapafollow. Lalo na kapag nagustuhan nila yung video mo, madali mo na silang ma-reach because meron kang promotional text. Lalagay mo na dito kung paano ka nila ma-reach. Yun yung parang tinatawag natin na call to action. Diba? May call to action ka kagad. In one video lang. In one posting lang. Next one, we also have Facebook Live. Okay? Usually, kapag may Facebook Live ka, hindi ka dapat nagla-live ora-orada. You have to post an announcement na magkakaroon ka ng upcoming Facebook Live, just like this one, the webinar. Pinopost siya ahead of time, and you also invite your audience to follow you, to click the notification button para aware sila or updated sila kung kailan lalabas yung live mo. So like for example, okay, kahit simple post lang na may photo ka, sasabihin mo lang na meron kang live lesson. Or you create an actual photo. Now, as mentioned, ang maganda sa Facebook Live is that you could have actual interaction with your audience. Yung mga sinabihan mo na, sali kayo for my Facebook Live, load kayo for my Facebook Live. Pwede ka makipag-engage and interact. And you could actually use public speaking there. Di ba? Mas nagagamit mo yung public speaking there. Now, just make sure that when you do public speaking on your social media, okay, you're still applying the same concept, the same principle that you have as an actual public speaker, as an actual presentation. Now, what are the things that actually do Facebook Live? Pwede kang magkaroon ng Q&A, di ba? Kapag meron kang mga uh, questions, mga frequently asked questions, pwede mo siyang i-address through a Facebook Live. You just invite your audience. Similar to our webinar right now, you could do an actual live webinar on Facebook Live, broadcasted. Diba? The point is, of course, when you do Facebook Live or any social media live, napopost din kagad yung content mo. So, napakadali siya. You could use outside software just like StreamYard kung gusto mo na parang mas ano siya, mas part ng branding mo, talagang merong background, ayan parang yung ganito, meron kayong template, ayan, StreamYard pwede mo gamitin, okay? And other free broadcasting software. Now, when Facebook Live, after Facebook Live, we have Facebook Reels and Facebook Stories. Ito yung mga short form contents. Facebook Stories, okay, usually yan yung mga bite size. Asing sobrang ikli lang na video, mga sneak peek, okay? And as much as possible, don't post long format of videos on your Facebook Stories. Kasi nangyayari, naghahati-hati siya on your stories. So para ka ngayon, merong PowerPoint presentation. Parang may mga maliliit na slides doon. Okay? So, dapat short lang talaga. Kasi kung meron kang upcoming Facebook Live, post ka ng video mo, mga 3 to 5 seconds na nag-invite ng audience na meron kang upcoming Facebook Live. Okay? Kapag Facebook Reels naman, if I am not mistaken, 60 seconds na ngayon yung pwede mong i-post on Facebook Reels. In that short form content, okay, mas napopromote mo or na-highlight mo lahat ng gusto mong sabihin in 60 seconds. And dahil nga mabilis ang attention span ng audience natin, napaka-effective ngayon ng mga short reels, mga Facebook reels, mga TikTok, di ba? So ano yung mga pwede mo i-post on Facebook reels? Ayan, for example, okay? I'm not sure, baka nandito, baka member dito, yung host ng these companies or ng social media accounts na ito. Pero basically, this is a good example that you could actually do. Hindi mo lang dapat pinapakita yung actual na bahay, actual na unit. Dapat ikaw din nakikita. Why? Because kapag nakikita ka nila, nagkakaroon sila ngayon ng perspective na okay, ganun pala ang itsura kapag may tao na. Okay? Ganun pala ang itsura kapag may actual na tao. So nagiging relatable ngayon yung video mo. Now let's talk about Instagram. Basically, Facebook and Instagram is the same. However, wala masyadong, hindi siya multimedia. More of photos and videos lang talaga na post mo on Instagram. But make sure that when you post any content on your Instagram, it has to be high quality photos and videos. Because branding yung inaano mo dito, pino-project mo on your Instagram account. So similar to Facebook, video Instagram also have Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, and Instagram Live. Hindi masyadong nagagamit pero meron ding Instagram series. Basically, it's a form of Facebook din, a Facebook video, pero in a series form. Kumbaga, pwede mong i-click yung series tapos nakakalagay doon yung mga series or naka-group, kumbaga, naka-group yung mga videos mo. So, meron siyang function doon sa Instagram na gano'n. So, Instagram Reels and Instagram Stories is the best way to project your public speaking content. Because similar siya sa TikTok, ang kagandahan lang sa Instagram, pag nag-post ka kasi ng high quality photos, hindi nagsasuffer yung mismong quality. Hindi siya nagiging pixelated, hindi siya lumalabo, hindi siya nagiging blur. Okay? So dapat you have to make sure din na yung video na ginamit mo or yung device na nagamit mo is either naka 4K, naka 1080p, okay? Para again, yun din yung lalabas doon sa Instagram account mo. So what are the possible content na pwede mong ilagay on your Instagram Reels? Okay? Similar nga siya kay TikTok, medyo higher end lang siya. Kaya dapat pinag-isipan, in-strategize mo talaga ng mabuti kung ano yung pwede mong i-post on your Instagram Reels. As much as possible, pro tip, as much as possible, don't post TikTok video, yung ginawa mong TikTok video, ni-record mo, dinownload mo, tapos po-post mo lang on your Instagram. Why? Because the different branding. Kapag pinost mo yung TikTok video mo on your Instagram Reel, lumalabas din yung logo mismo ng TikTok. Diba? So mas maganda if you create a different content or make sure lang na kung same content, okay, ipopost mo yung raw video talaga, yung edited video na hindi mo pa napopost on TikTok. Okay? So what are the possible contents? We have Q&A content. Okay? Kung may engagements ka na with your audience, pwede mong sagutin yung question ng audience mo. Tapos, gamitin mo yung question and answer format. Make sure lang, again, na you're not doing voiceover lang. Dapat nakikita ka nila mismo. Kasi nagtanong sila eh. So, dapat nakikita nila mismo ikaw answering the actual question. So katulad ni attorney Jock na, di ba? Ganyan, question and answer content. Pwede rin naman ng fact sharing, okay? Or role playing. Okay? Ikaw mismo nagiging yung client and yung professional real estate broker. So role playing ng mga situation niyo with a client. Or virtual tour. Ginawa natin kanina with Facebook Reel. Similar sa virtual tour, pwede nyo rin gawin siya. Okay? Pero again, mas maganda nga talaga na higher quality yung ipopost nyo on Instagram para mas kaakit-akit siyang tignan because yun yung branding ni Instagram. Next, TikTok. Okay? The most used platform ng mga Gen Z, mga mas nakakabata. So usually, yung pinopost naman sa video content ng TikTok or TikTok videos lang. Tapos ngayon meron na silang bagong TikTok stories saka TikTok live. Just make sure that if you're gonna use TikTok as your chosen platform, kaya ba siyang i-represent ng brand mo? Meaning to say, connected ba siya with the brand mo? Kaya nyo bang makipagsabayan sa brand nyo yan? And second one, are you sure na nandyan ba yung target market nyo? Okay? So you're gonna check your target audience kasi. Kasi mamaya, nagpo-post ka nga ng TikTok video, tapos hindi naman pala yun yung market mo. Ang market mo pala, usually talaga nasa Facebook, nasa Instagram. So you're gonna have to check din. Kasi nga, TikTok is Gen Z dominated. But nonetheless, you could still post just like these very successful content creators, mga real estate professionals. Baka nandito rin. Baka merong member dito na nandito. Wala ba? Wala ba? Alright. So what you could post on your, or what can you post on your TikTok videos? Okay, you could post any tips or advices. Ano ba yung mga usual na nagiging tanong? Mga frequently asked question. Gawin nyo siyang tips and advices. You could also share success from customers, from your clients, or your own story. Okay? You could share your story as a real estate professional. Ano ba yung ginagawa nyo as a real estate professional? Ito, pinakamaganda kapag nagpo-post ka ng updates and news. Yung mga nakikipagsabay ka doon sa bago. Ano ba yung bago ngayon? Ano ba yung in ngayon? Ano ba yung trend ngayon in real estate industry? Okay. Next, we have YouTube. Okay. Longer format of video content. When it comes with videos ng YouTube, okay, since longer format siya, okay, you're gonna have to post shorts, mga short form, mga clips, mga trailers mo on other social media account para mag-redirect sila dito sa video mo. Kasi usually, kaya ka lang nagpa-pop up sa search nila is because sinearch ka nila. Or nag-search sila ng, for example, what are the top 5 real estate professionals or who are the top 5 real estate professionals, for example, ganun. So pag sinearch lang nila, saka ka lang lumalabas. So mas mababa yung reach mo kaagad. Pero meron tayong software na pwedeng gamitin. Mamaya ituturo ko. So what are the kind of posts that you could post on your YouTube? Simple lang. Okay, we could post shorts. Shorts basically a short form of your actual video. So yung video na long format, nilagay mo lang sa shorts, parang trailer nga siya. Okay, so parang wala din, 'di ba? Hindi siya talagang part ng strategy mo. Kinat mo lang yung video mo from your actual video content sa YouTube. Pero maganda nga din kasi nga na you are establishing your brand, meron silang pupuntahan, meron silang papanoodin. Kapag nagandahan sila dun sa Instagram reel mo, tapos meron silang longer format, meron kang longer format, mariredirect sila dito sa YouTube account mo. Now, if you're gonna ask me, what are the tools that you could use on YouTube? First one is YouTube Studio. Okay. As a content creator in YouTube, ayaw natin content strike, di ba? Kasi nga, meron silang mga copyright. So para hindi tayo magkaroon ng copyright issue, dapat matutunan nyo gamitin ang YouTube Studio. Basically, YouTube Studio, meron ding editing doon. Pero ang pinaka-highlight niyan is the audio library. Ito yung mga copyright-free na music, audio, na pwede mo gamitin on your YouTube videos. Pwede mo siya i-download. Papakinggan mo lang kung alin doon yung tugma doon sa sinasabi mo. Kasi mamaya malungkot yung tinutukoy mo tapos masaya yung music. So you're gonna have to check everything. Now, if you're gonna ask me which one is better, short form or the long form, I think better ang short form ngayon. Dahil nga, ang short form video is the new elevator pitch, the modern day elevator pitch. In just 1 minute, 60 seconds ang short form. In just 1 minute, nasabi mo na dapat lahat ng gusto mong sabihin. Na-hook mo na kagad yung audience natin. Now, we have LinkedIn. Okay. Now, bakit LinkedIn? Paano ka magpo-post ng video sa LinkedIn? Merong LinkedIn, LinkedIn Live. So, yung YouTube Live mo, pwede mong isama ang LinkedIn Live para ma-post mo yung katulad ng ganitong format, the webinar and seminar. Now, basically, LinkedIn, kaya ako siya sinama dito, is because I would like everyone to raise their online presence, their credibility, through LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn profile is basically the social media of professionals. Any career opportunities, any clients potential clients na meron kayo, kapag sinearch kayo on LinkedIn at nag-pop up yung kayo as a professional, mas tumataas yung level of trust nila sa inyo as a real estate professional. Compare with others who don't have LinkedIn profile, may doubt pa yung mga clients natin. Kasi bakit hindi ka nag-exist on LinkedIn? Ito yung professional social media natin, mga professionals. And it's a free open portfolio. Diba? Hindi mo na kailangang isend pa sa client yung portfolio mo kasi kapag sinearch ka, nandiyan na kagad yung portfolio mo as a professional. Now, if after this webinar, you could actually check any social media content creators na pinost ko kanina doon sa ating examples. But basically, I want to ask everyone, do you have your best or your favorite? Do you have your favorite social media content creator on social media right now? So baka meron kayong suggested, baka meron kayong pinaka-favorite niyo. Can you post it on our chat box? Gusto ko makita kung ano ba yung favorite niyo or sino pala yung favorite content creator niyo. Preselio, that's good. Na Patricia, very relatable, very related with your profession. Usually similar din with Eman. How about the others? Kahit hindi real estate, kahit na for example, social media artists, content creator, like for example, Kong TV, ayan. Yung iba, sino yung iba? Ano yung pinaka-favorite na? Yung tipong pag sinabing magpapahinga muna ako, mag-cellphone muna ako, etong content creator yung magpa-pop up on your social media. Syempre naman, Mr. Winner, di ba? Kay Third Balyete. Sino pa? Sino pa ang gustong mag-share? We have spiritual naman. Pastor Joel Sarmiento. Nice. Ryan Sirhan. That's good. Brother Bo Sanchez. Wow. Last two. Tingnan natin kung sino yung meron pang interesting na content creator. Ako usually pina-follow ko sila Vinjang. Vinjang kasi syempre is for public speaking. Shade Zaray. Favorite content creator ko to when it comes with psychology. And of course, baka gusto nyo i-follow ako on Instagram or any social media, I have Paulo de Maculangan PH. At Paulo de Maculangan PH. MJ Lopez. Wow. Randall Tiongson. Wow. Walang artista. Parang wala pa ako nakikita artista. Meron ba artista dyan na talagang avid fan kayo? Gusto ko yan. Chinkitan, di ba? Nas Daily. All right. Thank you so much for the engagement. Thank you so much for sharing your content creators. At this point, I am now challenging everyone to become a content creator yourself. Di ba? Maganda na kayo na ngayon yung inire-recommend ng clients nyo because maganda ang contents nyo. Because on your content, you could actually post on your content itself, you could actually use public speaking, right? All right. So let's now move on for the final topic for this webinar. Okay. Can everybody see my screen pa din? Just a check. Can I see a like button if you can still see my post, my screen? That's good. That's good. All right. So to move on, okay, I would like to remind everyone that don't just post listings. Okay. When you post a content on social media, the reason why audience like a content creator is because they tell a story. They tell something. Okay? Because it's more engaging for them. Imagine, pagod ako, galing sa trabaho, tapos hihiga ako, magbabrowse ako on my social media, tapos kung sino yung magagandang content creators, yun yung gusto ko makita. Kasi nga pagod ako eh. It's more of an entertainment for me. So ganun din yung similar na mindset niyo na ganun, dapat ganun din yung mindset niyo kapag nagko-content creation kayo. Bakit isipin niyo ganito? Bakit niyo pina-follow tong mga social media content creators na to? So kapag nalaman niyo yung sagot kung bakit niyo sila pina-follow, apply niyo yung same concept kapag gumagawa kayo ng content niyo. Bakit ko i-post tong video na ito? It's because it's for my audience. Dahil gusto ito ng audience ko. Dahil ito yung gustong malaman at maintindihan ng audience ko. You're not gonna post a post just to impress your audience. You're gonna post something that will be beneficial for your audience. And we call that audience benefit. Make sure that when you present something, it will be for your audience. Because that's the main point of public speaking. You have to talk to your audience because when you talk to your audience on your presentation, engaging siya. Compare mo kapag you are performing lang, you're just showing lang, you're just impressing lang. So yung audience natin hindi involved, so wala silang natatanggap na audience benefit. Ano yung value na matatanggap nila when you present something? So dapat yun yung iisipin nyo lagi kapag meron kayong content creation. Now to move on, remember this one. Again, social media is your way is the key pala. Social media is your key to your audience. Ginamit ko yung key kasi related sa inyo. Diba? Social media is the key to your audience. You could reach your audience through social media by simply posting engaging content, visualizing content, yung magugustuhan ng audience nyo dahil may matatanggap silang value from you as a speaker, as a content creator, as a real estate professional. Now, when you're trying to post a post, dapat meron kayong strategy. Ano muna yung purpose nyo? So, based on this content purpose matrix, you're gonna have to check ano ba yung goal nyo? Ang goal nyo ba ay awareness or purchase or engagement? Kasi kung engagement, of course, makikita nyo dapat na, okay, so hindi sila babili. Kailangan lang magkaroon ng entertainment value, kailangan lang ma-reach ko yung audience. Pero kung ang goal nyo, of course, is to ask them to buy from you, you're gonna do a different approach. So use this matrix, content purpose matrix, and whatever matrix or whatever purpose ang makuha nyo as part of your content creation, you're gonna check also if it's aligned with emotional trigger. So for example, if your goal is of course to create awareness, but at the same time, you would like to touch their emotion. So of course, ang goal mo is to engage. And when you engage, ang emotional trigger na napapakita mo is energetic and stimulated from your audience. If your goal is to create awareness that you exist or create awareness na ito yung update ngayon, ito yung news ngayon about real estate, pero gusto mo maging rational ka, your goal is to educate. You're gonna send informational facts as part of your content. If your goal naman is to purchase, okay, clients, ang goal nyo is mag-purchase sa inyo yung client, okay, is either you use rational such as to convince, at kapag to convince yung inyong goal, at nalalaman nila of course na, okay, so credible to, magaling to, nag-exist to, hindi to scammer, yung audience natin nagtatrust at feel nila safe sila from you. So yun yung emotional trigger na i-trigger natin. Kapag purchase naman pero emotional ang kasama, of course you would like them to be inspired. Okay? And emotional inspiration, yung motivational, ayan, usually ang emotional trigger dyan is happy or valued. So use this matrix either to convince, to educate, to inspire, and to engage para malaman nyo kung ano ba yung focus ng inyong content na gagawin. Always put yourself in the perspective of your audience. Huwag laging tayo lang. Ito, maganda tong post na to. Ito, sikat to. Ito yung trending ngayon. Okay? Magugustuhan ba ng client nyo? Yun yung lagi yung tanong. So you put yourself in the perspective of your audience. You put yourself in the shoe of your audience. Ano ba yung magiging audience benefit? And your audience, sabi nga natin, fast ang kanilang approach. Lagi silang in 5 seconds, kailangan ma-hook mo na ako. So dapat meron kayong content structure para pagkita pa lang nila ng video sa inyo, engaging na. So ano yun? Ano yung structure? Yung structure na pwede nyo gamitin is this one. Very simple. 3 lang isasama nyo on your content creation. The first one is the hook, the opening. Any hook, any statement for the first 3 to 5 seconds, gagawin nyo. Just to get the attention of your audience. Like for example, bigla ka magbibigay ng question, rhetorical question. Bigla ka magsasabi ng study. Yung pagka-browse nila sa'yo, bigla ka nagsabing, do you want to buy a house? Ayan. So engaging yan, di ba? Tapos, pag sinabi mo na yung hook mo, yung first 3 to 5 seconds mo, relate mo kagad doon sa content mo. Anong relation ng hook mo? Ano yung main point mo? So that's part of your content. So in short form siya, 60 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds hook. The next 30 seconds, 40 seconds, body kagad, content kagad. And then sa last part, mag-call to action ka. Yung ending mo dapat meron silang gagawin. Okay, ang tanong dyan kasi is, yung content mo is the what. Okay? Your audience will ask, so what? So doon papasok yung call to action mo na. Ito, pwede nyo ako ma-reach dito. Ito yung kailangan nyo gawin, follow nyo ako dito. Para magkaroon kayo ng maraming tips about real estate, buksan nyo yung aking profile. Ayan, so call to action, may kailangan silang gawin after hearing the content of your presentation. In social media, we have this thing called millennial pause saka Gen Z shake. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this one, but basically, kapag millennial pause yung ginamit mo, iba-browse up ka kagad ng audience. So let's understand first what is millennial pause and Gen Z shake. Millennial pause is basically starting a video with a short pause. Kasi tayo, mga millennials, mga baby boomers, for example, nasanay tayo na kailangan mag-hit record muna, tapos pag nakita natin nagre-record na, saka tayo magsasalita. So ngayon pala, ang Gen Z pala ngayon, ang mga audience pala ngayon, kapag ganun yung video mo, nagba-browse up kagad sila. Ang Gen Z shake naman is yung literal na shinake mo yung camera to make an impact na ni-record mo to, tapos nagsalita ka kagad kasi importante itong sasabihin ko. So here's a good example. I'm not sure if you could hear it. Pero basically, ito yung, pakinggan yung umpisang-umpisang sinabi ni Taylor Swift on her TikTok account.
All right, I've been wanting to show you this for a
Nahuli nyo? Yung umpisang-umpisa, sobrang iklila ng pause niya. Pero mapapansin nyo na talagang, nakita niya muna na nagre-record saka siya nagsalita. Another example, kay Taylor Swift ulit.
Hey guys, it's Taylor and
Nahuli niyo yan?
Hey guys, it's Taylor and my new version of Red and
Yung parang huminga muna siya bago siya nagsalita. Ayan. So as much as possible, tatanggalin nyo pala dapat yun. Dapat salita ka agad when you post short form contents. Kasi short form na nga siya, talagyan mo pa ng maikling pause, so sayang yung milliseconds na ginamit mo on your social media post. Ang Gen Z Chic naman, ganito example.
Did you know there's a difference between how millennials and
Ayan. So, diretso kagad, salita kagad. Another example.
Talk about the Gen Z shake, which is what I just did in the intro by pretending like I was setting my phone up and just getting right into this topic.
Ayan. So, that's the difference of millennial post and Gen Z Chic. On TikTok, mas nagagamit or mas engaging daw kapag Gen Z Chic yung ginamit mo on the start of your presentation, on your content. Because mas mabilis mag-scroll up ang audience kapag may maikling post on your account, or I'm sorry, on your video content. Last one is your tools. What are the tools and equipment that you could use? Actually, you don't need professional setup. Okay? As simple as your phone, di mo kailangan ng professional camera, professional video cam. As simple as your smartphone, you could use already that to promote, to send, to create a content. Kapag nasa bahay ka and you're discussing something, you could actually have a simple lapel microphone and a tripod, a ring light. Professional setup na itsura mo nun. Tapos, good background, of course. Hindi pwedeng ang nasa likuran mo kama mo. Okay? Hindi siya professional looking. Now, if you have a more budget, okay, if you could afford more budget, since you are doing real estate profession, you're doing virtual tours, for example, mas maganda if you could at least invest for a mobile gimbal. Okay? Yun yung habang naglalakad ka, stabilize yung video mo. Kasi nakakahilo naman sa audience kung nag-virtual tour ka, tapos masyadong shaky yung hand. Unless yung nagka-camera sa'yo, habang nagpa-public speaking ka, habang nagpe-present ka ng virtual tour mo, ay syempre, steady hands. Pero meron din naman mga phones ngayon, mga smartphones ngayon, na merong technology to stabilize. Ibig sabihin, hindi na, kahit na shaky yung iyong camera or yung smartphone, because of the software, nagiging stabilize yung video. The point here is, of course, if you can afford to invest more, pwede kang magkaroon ng mobile gimbal plus cameraman. Siya yung magka-cameraman sa'yo. Pero if you're starting, okay pa rin naman yung traditional, yung basic equipment, such as this. Now, when it comes with your portraits or landscape, your orientation, make sure that if you are the focus of the content, you're just speaking, you're just talking, you're just sharing Q&A, you're just sharing facts, dapat mas maganda portrait. Kasi ang focus mo dito is you, not the background. Pero if your focus is the background, like for example, virtual tour, tapos ang mas mina-highlight mo is the background itself, such as the unit. So mas maganda na full body ka, tapos landscape yung orientation mo. Can you still hear me, guys? Nawala daw yung audio. Hello, guys. Ayan,
Yes, Coach, you're doing good.
All right. Last one. Before we jump in for the final part, the tools. This one is the rule of thirds. Okay. The rule of thirds is when you create a video, you follow the lines, the rule of thirds. So imagine na meron ka laging rule of thirds or yung line na ito. Kapag ikaw yung focus, dun ka sa gitna. Just like yung ginagawa nung content creator. Kapag ang focus mo ay hindi na ikaw, gigilid ka na. Para ang makikita ang focus is yung pinapakita mo. Okay, dyan yung rule of thirds. Lagi ang susundan mo dyan is yung hati-hati. And now, let's jump in for the final discussion, the softwares and technologies. Ano yung mga applications na pwede mong gamitin when you post contents? Of course, sikat na sikat ngayon, Canva, because it already have its own template. But meron na rin siyang video. Meron siyang editing ng video with format itself. So, ipopost mo na lang, i-attach mo na lang yung video kung ano yung nagawa mo. Tapos, ika-cut mo na lang doon. Tapos, may sarili na siyang template. So, I do hope that everyone know how to use Canva because this is a very, very affordable tool and very helpful tool as a content creator. Lalo na sa mga postings ninyo. Kung gusto niyo na meron siyang branding ninyo, pwede nyo gamitin si Canva. Canva can be used with a subscription kung gusto niyo na mas magamit yung feature ni Canva, but of course it's also have a free account. Another one are the video tools. Favorite ko dito is the LumaFusion. Mostly ng videos ko ay sa LumaFusion is because very user-friendly siya. Now, if you're doing Reels, mas maganda kung ang gagamitin nyo is either CapCut. CapCut, meron siyang subscription din, pero meron ding free version. Kapag free version kasi usually merong logo nung mismong software. Like for example, si CapCut, sa huling-huling part may CapCut na logo. Pero kung you're doing Reels, stories, I suggest that you use GoPro Quick. You don't need an actual GoPro device. Kahit yung cellphone mo lang. Tapos, ang kagandahan kasi nito, automatic na siya na i-edit for you. Kumbaga, i-attach mo na lang yung video, i-attach mo yung video doon sa software, doon sa application, tapos automatic na siya, meron ng template din doon. Ikaw na lang mag-a-adjust kung ano yung mga gusto mong tanggalin at gusto mong mga bawasan doon. So, basically, complete video na siya. At kapag nakasubscribe ka din, matatanggal yung logo na Quick, yung pinaka-logo ng application, which is very affordable naman. I think $299, $399 for the whole year na siya, annual subscription na siya. So very affordable. Usually ginagamit ito sa iOS device, but it also have an application for Android. Kung you are a Samsung user naman, you could use Adobe Premiere Rush. Yun naman yung counterpart ni GoPro Quick. Similar din siya. Meron din siyang automatic editing. Okay? Yung mga slides na kagad, may transition na kagad. Counterpart siya basically ni GoPro Quick. If you're gonna post with a photo or video, meron mga free stock photos dito, mga free stock videos. So kung sa video mo, for example, you're discussing a fact sharing and gusto mo na merong mga B-shots, ayan, meron tayong mga free videos. Pwede mo siya i-download. And hindi, royalty free. Sabihin, download mo siya for free. Maganda kasi ngayon, nilalagyan mo ng free stock video. Like for example, ganito. Ayan. So habang nagsasalita ka, popost mo yung free stock video na yon, tapos kakat mo siya, tapos papasok mo ulit yung voice over mo. We also have free icons and photos also. It's called the Noun Project. Okay? So kung gusto mo ng mga icons, sa Canva, actually meron na directly sa Canva eh. Pero kung outside ka ng Canva gumagawa, like for example, MS Publisher, MS PowerPoint, or meron kang sariling application, makakakuha ka ng mga free icons on this website, the Noun Project. We also have AI. Okay? Most of the time, ang mga scripts ngayon, ang mga video contents ngayon, AI ang gumagawa. Yung mga voice-over nga, di ba? AI ang gumagawa. That's why I am asking everyone to avoid using AI voice, yung mga script na ginawa ng AI, tapos sila din AI yung nagbabasa. Kasi nawawala yung purpose mo as a public speaker. So maganda na kung script writing, nahirapan ka sa script writing, okay, gamit ka ng AI, ChatGPT. Pero gagamitin mo lang siya for the script writing, for inspiration. Para meron ka masimulan. I-edit mo siya, i-rephrase mo siya, tapos meron ka nang gagamitin na script mo for your actual video content creation. Now, ang kagandahan kasi ng free AI na ito na script writing, this one naman is called captions. Okay? So sa captions, ang kagandahan ni captions is if you have a Facebook reel and wala pa siyang caption, popost mo lang, either meron kang sariling script mo or gusto mong pakikinggan lang ng AI yung caption mo, gagawin na niya yung caption for you. So if it's in English, if it's in Filipino, sasalitain mo siya on your video, upload mo lang yung video and the AI will do it for you. Sila na mismo yung AI na mismo yung gagawa ng caption with text, with design, may mga template na rin doon. So kung yung may nakikita kayong mga posts or mga reels na nagdi-discuss yung content creator, tapos may mga lumalabas na caption, mga big text sa ibabaw, maliliit na text sa ibaba, there's a possibility na AI din yung gumawa nun. Kasi napakatrabaho ng video editing eh. Kaya meron na tayong captions as an AI. And as mentioned, ChatGPT, we have ChatGPT. Ayan, script writing. But you're gonna use ChatGPT only for inspiration. Okay? Hindi mo siya gagamitin yung mismong ginawa ni ChatGPT or ng AI. Kasi kapag gaganon, may tendency na ginamit ni ChatGPT or ni AI ay galing sa isang content din, galing sa isang post, pinost niya lang sa'yo, so baka makopyright ka. So ang kagandahan dito, inspiration. Okay? Para may masimulan ka, ibig sabihin. Now, kung babalikan natin yung YouTube kanina, we have this called YouTube SEO. Okay? Yung search engine optimization. So kung nahihirapan kang maghanap ng content or gumawa ng content for your video at feeling mo bakit parang walang engagement, bakit parang walang nanonood, walang subscription, so you try to use this extension, Google extension or Google Chrome extension, tapos tutulungan ka ng software na to for search engine optimization. Hahanapin niya for you ano yung best content na pinag-uusapan ngayon sa YouTube when it comes with your area, real estate professionals or real estate industry. So ang this software is called TubeBuddy. Okay? So yan yung ginamit din ni Carlo Ople. Carlo Ople is the Vice President of PLDT. Okay? So apart from his position at PLDT, nagko-content creation din siya. At una-una niyang ginawa that time daw is the shoe review. Yung mga magagandang shoe. And nakuha lang niya yung idea na yon using this software. Alright? Now, that concludes the tools. And I do hope na magamit yung mga tools at alam ko madami pang tools, softwares, and applications na pwede nyo gamitin at the same time when you're posting your content creation on social media. Now, the takeaway here, the reason why I mainly focus on these social media giants is because these are the most common used, not just us, professionals, but our target audience. Yung clients natin, yung audience natin, nasa social media. Hindi na nagagamit ngayon masyado yung traditional. Nasa digital age na kasi tayo ng social media. Kaya dapat tayo din mismo, ginagawa natin yung ginagawa ng audience natin. Ginagawa natin yung ginagawa ng clients natin. But not to the point na kapag nag-trending, gagayahin na kagad natin. Okay? May mga posts na hindi akma sa branding mo. So, you avoid that. Okay? Pero kung alam mo naman na akma sa branding mo, go for it. Okay? It will be beneficial for you. Just make sure that ang focus mo lagi ay yung audience benefit. So major takeaway natin for this webinar is of course, people buy from people they like. Okay? Remember that. People buy from people they like. So the more you post, the more people will know you. The more people will be aware that you exist. Therefore, kapag maganda yung contents mo, kapag maganda yung pinapakita mo on your audience, mas nagugustuhan ka nila. Therefore, mas napapanatag silang kunin ka. Mas napapanatag silang bumili sa'yo. Because you are raising your existence. You are raising your presence on social media. If they don't see you, you don't exist. Very simple words. Diba? How can you expect your audience, your clients to know you if hindi ka naman nagpapakita sa kanila? And social media presence lets your audience see you. That's why you need to increase your social media presence through public speaking, through presentations. Hindi na lang sapat ngayon yung photo lang. Hindi na lang sapat ngayon yung nakita lang nila yung maganda at gwapo mong mukha. Yung credentials mo. Kailangan naririnig ka rin nila. And to tell you honestly, when you see a person talking, nagkakaroon ng emotional connection. That's why people like you. Kasi nakikita ka nila as a person. Na you humanize yung binibenta mo. Nagiging relatable ka. Kasi nakikita ka nila as a person itself. Nawawala yung barrier. So increase your social media presence so that your audience will see you. Post engaging social media content so that your audience will hear you. And the last one, my favorite. Public speaking lets your audience know you. Okay? So use public speaking to let your audience know you. And that concludes my discussion about how to use effectively public speaking in your own social media accounts. I do hope that you've learned a lot, but at this point, I will be entertaining, I believe, VP External, Sir Edgar. I believe we're gonna acknowledge questions ata. If ever lang naman na meron kayo. Clarification, insights.